4 individuals have been arrested over the Renus robbery as investigators search a dwelling in Elbasan believed to be used by the group as a base, as well as an auto service shop linked to the event. The CEC has cancelled 3 tenders worth about 1 billion lek, and in one case it has been learned that a complaint has been filed by one of the applicant companies. On International Earth Day, experts call for more attention to be paid to environmental concerns, pointing out a number of problems that the country faces. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 22nd of April 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The State Police, in cooperation with the Elbasan Police Directorate and the Capital Directorate, have now arrested 4 people. Police have not released details about the roles of each of those arrested. An automotive repairs and servicing centre located in the city of Elbasan is suspected of modifying a vehicle by adding the inscription tax investigation, and that this particular vehicle was later used in the most recent robbery at Tirana's Renus airport. The car service is located on a secondary road that connects to the Elbasan centre, though the modifications to the vehicles are carried out in an environment visible from the street, where the passing by of citizens is common. At the weekend, police inspected the premises of the business, seizing all available evidence that they hope will shed some light on the event. The owner of the premises told RTV Ora that he had rented it 2 years ago and had no connections with those suspected of conducting the modifications to the van. Near the auto service is the dwelling suspected of being the group's base, where the investigators found electronic equipment and other evidence. The business and the dwelling were also monitored with security cameras, which have now been collected by investigators and will be used to assist in determining the details of the event. It is not yet known the details of the charges laid against the individuals, in particular who among them have been accused of murdering a police officer, an act committed during the grave event. The 4th edition of the opposition's major protests will be held on the 11th of May at 6 p.m. This time, the Democratic Party has decided to change their strategy. The protest will not take place in front of Parliament, but will now escalate through the districts with the intention of causing numerous roadblocks. This Thursday, the main entry point for the capital is expected to be blocked, a decision which was made at the meeting of the DP's College of Chairpeople. During the meeting, the DP chair, Lul Zimbasha, gave a speech expressing, "Elections without the opposition are a farce. We will no longer allow crime to dictate the elections in Albania. The elections will be held after the 2017 vote thieves are punished. With Edi Rama and Darko Njiknuri at his side, there cannot be free elections, neither today nor any other time. Only his departure paves the way for the political solution we have asked for." Basha has called for all structures to be in constant contact with the citizens in order to maintain the highest possible attendance for the protest. He went on by emphasising that stability is protected only by defending democracy and by refusing to invest in crime. Two months before the election, the Central Election Commission is faced with 3 failed projects valued at about 1 billion lek. The projects relate to the procedures for preparing for the local elections to be held on June 30. The tender for ballot papers was contested by one of the participating firms on the 29th of March this year. Regarding the demand for the production and display of promotional materials and the production of results tables, the contract has been cancelled. The reasons were cited as being outside the control of the contracting authority and unable to be predicted at the beginning of the procurement procedure. Because of this situation, preparatory procedures for the June 30th elections, such as ballot paper production, ballot paper security stamps, ballot box buying, and ballot paper production, are left to be completed at a later stage. Sources from the Central Election Commission suggest the delay will not be an obstacle to the successful conduct of the local elections. Negotiations have already begun with other contracting firms who applied during the tender process in order to find a solution faster than passing the procurement procedures to the Public Procurement Commissioner. For each tender, the contracting firms will submit their offer and the Central Election Commission will choose among them the most convenient proposal before announcing the winner. Although the opening of Ora Airport was a priority of Rama's government, its realisation will be delayed. Minister Belinda Baluku has not yet been able to reach an agreement with the Turkish investors. Initially, the ministry expected to attract an offer from the Turkish company. However, no appropriate offers were received by the September 2018 deadline. An international tender application process will now be opened for the construction of the airport. The construction of Ora Airport will be a BOT concession for a period of 35 years, with an investment value estimated at €98 million. The airport is expected to accommodate about 600,000 passengers a year. At the beginning of 2018, Prime Minister Edi Rama emphasised that this will be an important investment as it will increase the number of tourists and reduce unemployment rates. Parliament voted on the law that gave the government the right to negotiate the tender with applicant companies. However, it seems the situation has remained stagnant, with the Infrastructure Ministry now saying there will be another international tender. The Albanian government is offering to cover the expenses of the concessionary company in the case of losses arising from a smaller than predicted number of passengers. The temporary transfer of judges from Durrës to Kavaya has created delays in the hearing of files by the Durrës Court for the year 2018. Chair of Durrës Court, Ioana Celeshi, in giving the annual analysis of this institution, said the impact was felt through the increased number of cases still waiting to be heard, which reached 1,230. For this reason, the burden on the court was greater in 2018, especially in regards to criminal cases. On the other hand, the speed of trials increased when compared to 2017, explained the chair of Durrës Court. According to the judges, another cause for the situation was the new legal changes regarding the suspension of judgments, which were also further emphasised in regards to penal cases. If we look at 2017, 891 cases were waiting to be heard by the court, whereas in 2018, that number reached 1,230. This is related to new legal provisions regarding the transitory placement of judgments, especially in penal cases, informed Celeshi. On the other side, Durrës prosecutor Anita Yela determined that the year 2018 was a challenging one for the prosecution, saying the number of files returned for further investigation remains a concern. At the Court of Durrës, the audio coverage of the halls and the lack of necessary infrastructure also remain problematic. Failure to manage waste is one of the biggest environmental issues for Albania. Speaking on International Earth Day, environmentalists seek more attention to those who they call out for injustice towards the Albanian land. According to environmentalist Sazan Guri, Albania has excellent environmental protection laws, but appropriate implementation is lacking. President Ilir Meta has issued a message for International Earth Day via Facebook, stating that land protection should not be treated as propaganda. He adds that the green crowns that should be the lungs of Albanians, unfortunately, have been damaged by endless construction. The United States Embassy in Albania has also noted their involvement for the maintenance of the planet, launching, among other things, the Earth Challenge event to be held in 2020 for the 50th anniversary of this day. Today is Earth Day, and the best way to help on this day is to get involved. There is a rising concern about the health of our planet, especially the extent of plastic pollution. Earth Challenge 2020 will generate open data for research to measure the health of our planet, and we need your help, reads the announcement published by the US Embassy. Experts insist that measures must be taken in relation to food safety. Threats to consumer life are present across the country, and it was noted that replacing the directors of the National Food Authority does not constitute as a strategy for improving national food safety standards. We have had an extraordinary number of changes in directors, but also policies to food safety controls. None of them have really been effective, since we do not yet have a clear strategy on how we can fight the phenomenon of unsafe products. We must seek to guarantee food safety in our country, said one expert, Esmeralda Balesha. She added that the lack of traceability and trading in ambulant conditions are constant dangers for the citizens. We must have refrigerated transport as the basis of any fresh food transport. We have worked hard to create some markets to the standards required for specific products to ensure not only production but also trading of food can be done safely, added Balesha. According to experts, the lack of risk reports and genuine food safety studies are just some of the other issues that make it difficult to improve food safety. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.